Ekosiisen dwumadi he na wasogoso awutie no masom ewo in studios amede dio say bonso from you be at dwumadi so 6:30 p.m. and yen dwumadi no eba ewieye enche mekwa ahoma no so adi nkomo bi from the central regional capital Cape Coast unim say enne His Excellency the former president and the running mate Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman ewo central region na ya there former president Ekosiisen D at the natural and anoma himfo ewo will touch base with the team on the ground here anyone etumi edi enkomo. But first ma memfa we mu intwem oye private lotto operator na wutie me a the governing board of the NLA National Lottery Authority sememfa nsemi ento wenim na the omo kan say mo modas wudi dwuma no we private lotto operator na wo hye baby eye enya ade a license ye papa license ne kura ewu obi okra wo ye a wo de wuni license kra mesrew omo say from the 1st of August mo amotesa no mo operations e ba wiye agye say wakọ akwakonya license we renew license na ewu no. And our grace period from now till the 15th of August. Say for renew license. No, from now till 15th August. Say for renew license. And yes, wasun ebeyeshe papa. Say wa nya AG HRMOA MSC AG NLF HRMOA enforcement actions be including but not limited to lawsuit and a clamp down. It was our team unsemi ya frewon. It was 0266 087 966 0266 087 966 National Lottery Authority Development through Games. Eric Eje Kasamafo abedi tre edema Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Eric Ekosiisen suni akwa ba etesen
Mejo Tobi na adom na wonso e
nyame adom Cape Coast boko de
nyame adom bi aboko
Edemeka says here he fa porting amo
yeah, well, Cape Coast, Regional House of Chiefs. They be a omusia mudia. Honey was here.
Okay. Na how do you be say mama near ho?
Obi dey be can make sure asempa estimate for na. With your annual social office of the running mate issue statement. The Beba Central region there. Na yedi ehwa ba be che na nanom ewo central region na yeba no ye ne flag bearer na bai efe se enfie na yitram ko ye na ye pound no yeba na nanom nan so e de omo de che no be che na afin so ye san pound bi nti ehwo be nya se e de ne beba aba be che na nanom bi because na tinari na yame admo chena and yes, that's your problem in central region. But in India, I'm not the custodians of our land. You know, ultimately, more will be she or bra or more cocoa answer William. In general, the top about His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Eddie, the running meet, Elaborate Central Regional House of Chiefs. And 34 paramounts is Nubia, or has here.
And for more mutie yen oba yen live stream or Facebook and YouTube obe hu videos nibi from the Central Regional House of Chiefs Osha na nanom nyina etel what's the paramounts is near saying 34 paramounts is ni nyina omunyina etu omone won ene no for Regional House of Chiefs na nye ahemfo ne nkwa aba ahemafo nso
no so
omunyina nso hobby it basically no Eric message a flag bearer and the running mate e man nanom ene saying
obi basically message in say central region mudi ni and I share the record of NDC Amanyukua. If he who are castle pens to see a mammy Professor Jane Opoku-Agyeman and support me in central region Hamo. Yedi aka by Yedi Remisata by Yedi Professor Mills by and then Yedi mammy na Jane Opoku-Agyeman. Now the dance on one of the owners say Nipami and Sanami can bomb Mudini Namina Bima. On we inquire your bad time. first time in the history of Ghana. Na ye say on mayor running me for a political party like NDC. Now one saying you'll be also Santa Fe Central Region. And you buy no share about him out for any Jane woman, now a dance no. And this clear a message in His Excellency John Dramani Mahama air communicate Ghana for. Said there, if you saw near Castle, what man can do, woman can do better no. This is the time. In the Central Region 14-year war, or bow with Sika, to say Professor Jenana Opukwadima, yeah, would you deal with him say? So the bonnet Sidoma, or no meeting at net in Ghana Mamu. And Prof Ekosisen, the key issue or address here was about Women's Development Bank. One was a buyer no a man bought into your Kaidi and an so a Kaumodi. Baba him out for no concentration, he said, so why you about all by dear? Or more pa dear for you, bit me, I am an asogan and money nipa. And obviously, what study for the could be a key message for the name of the Women's Development Bank. Because or your bad time when you said you fit here. And you want more matters, you say, Nena Hongwa, say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Kase, or May and a Boafono. Or Nana Quajimu say, or no, so you seen any so say Ghana Ma, a home being how or would you my union Sikasem. Your money now propose Yajatum, or be making sure say, a beba into force, a Ghana for to Obama NDC, of which I mean, Sakianake. You better no. Or no be making sure say or be put you a man or level or deserve some more. So this means that this is going to create a lot of opportunities for Ghana men. Bank ya ye bibia ye be ma Mexica. Your target in say nipa be 1 million a yema. Because you think my census be about say man a dozen. Ye Mexica for the member. And this is the opportunity you bet media build through the bank. Ya benya sika edidja aye businesses interest na be was on the be ketekete and also be encourage ama omodio. So that is what Prof said. And ananom busan senti ebinom concentration the lithium agreement na hanging. Obisa wa we aware.
Yes.
Yeah, nananom our interest both minority and majority no. I'm making sure that the necessary rectification now was a no. Yen na the agreement need to know more GBA say and call for na ebe jumana ba and also the to the back petemuha. And also President Mahama Shomo say already no money now interest because the citizens. It is a good deal be the chef from na him say bebo mine and who be here say you be to me at the abua. But also kwa on the minority for no bekasa. Idea was a year crowding on Monsoon and I boa abandoned it in implementing or best sans way. Or more how about Copa so galamsey or more review. Say and then galamsey into cocoa production, a coffin. Na central, I don't know a for. Into President Mahama Ba, or most of the way be paying. Or may it be a basic galamsey, I know. Now, under the NDC, time I need to provide over 900,000 metric tons. The best thing will be. And also, no catch up must say, I be paying. Because you're here, Kunasono, now want to say amount for a galamsey, under President Ekufado, and I dominating the country. And you're here, Kunasono, what is it? Ubi Neko Kwafons, your chomu free fertilizer, and almost I can have a being has a self free fertilizer policy, no. You buy and sign from run and fertilizer no boy thing. A lot of things, but I believe strongly say American and no the rest is so yeah mama since you are.
Eric, because o kasama mo running mate in tea na me person me busa since she was named the running mate no be abosomi be enan enum ababa be sen eko adenti na afei na yede na ekwa akochia na nanoma hemfo e was central region
obi won say amanya for your wonema ahodu pie yedi wokokom ni aye bi so obegem uti me pa
meet you
enti nananom oye dan ya osam ho bopo enyeyi ye wo ananom aye kom na so wokokom ene omukodi nkomo even before the nomination no a lot of consultation were done of which some of these chiefs may aware say about money also be stress or money share money and turn it in the account. But we are coming at this particular point in time, say, all base ya be send a pro bonus no. Who be here see this year na na be share na nanom say mo amodi share na de naba. And all base ya be bona pro. A futu ni insurance in the amwo man on among famana. And indeed, I think it's a very good opportunity in Yenya and no. O share futu a ye dia maye ne direction na hodo ye dia maye. Depending for the penny fear. I think it's a good cause.
Into from Ochinano officially or shane tour of the central region, I say.
Yeah, Ochina and yes, yeah, for bonus. Also, your MPs, you know, head associate, but you're young in TCB and then on the end in this sitting.
Okay.
But I'm already, you know, the plan is you best start here with the orphan constituencies, you know.
Okay.
And the idea problem in the Shafi, in the Shafi or Tana. Number of constituencies which in Yakumu could see at the theater. Then we come back home and re-strategize and come the following week. So for now, the first movement I reckon the orphan constituencies in the electorate in the church.
Very well. Eric, my say, we wish you well. BBN e best ba bidin komobio. Why?
Yeah,
that's a pa. And Eric J. and the attending kind of deputy communications director for the running mate of the NDC, Professor Jane Opoku Ajeman. And I'm going to say all my update on I'm visit to the central region, meeting with the regional house of chiefs and matters arising. And Tianonen Komoa Yaneno Aqua Kudi. Ekosiisen Sune Haya Sempa 94.7 FM. Yada munyina se ema munyina kwa babio. Enche yada discussion segment be so ba ma min toaso mfa we no entwam ye wia na afede wo ho no yetimi ede atoaso Tridal Express mo a mo cranium free amanone ebia Ukrainian free US of A, with the Neoma free UK, with the Neoma free China, any ade and Eba Ghana, with the Neoma A free Ghana, Ako US, with the Neoma free Ghana, Ako UK, with the Neoma A free Ghana, Ako Singapore, any baby out the Neoma Efi Air Kubiano, a choir was our faso edecono in here. Na sometimes they are no bread and son more the Neoma no Ako. I complicated ede amamo. Me pacho enuntina Tridal Express aba ede amamu nyina enti se wonte a mesel se enne wo be yi wasum na watie ne yi se Tridal Express no omodo onioma ebeba Ghana amawo ye de nioma so be kwa am no ne ede amawo within 3 to 5 working days na nioma na kwa kodu ye de ba Ghana ha ye de ba wo doorsteps enti we na nya de a ye de koja baby se bra ne bra befa there be Tridal Express ama nioma aye very very easy Ediama Munina enti sa wodi nioma air kwama no ne wodi ko US of A Tridal Express will deliver to your doorsteps here in Ghana Shannon so efama in fact sa wo tonioma ne from no na sa wa kra wuntimi nkonkoto Tridal bitimi atonioma na ma through their proxy shopping service. Your items would also be safe and secure because of more app I'll bet me the app no attrack it when your man say your chassis a free US rubber Ghana obetima track it. Download the Tridal Express app no iOS store as a Google Play Store. Never track your near Frewon. It was 0535 195 353 0535 195 353. Na only one into me in income. At Tridal Express, shipping is made simple, fast, and reliable. Omo boy juma papa menka enada unim say ene amanfo ton sase a e anan sase ne bo no edin home ownership ene furnishing wesi dan na wi a wo furnish dan ne mo no e anan ne bo no edin ba manya deal bi di amamo ene me pacho utie me na o pa sase na ato o pe se wo to fie o pe se wasi wo down say furnish him kama ema wa me patrom you deal ema. You can get the best deals for all your housing needs at one place. We know men ko baby one place. The EcoBank Joy News Mini Fair. EcoBank Joy News Mini Fair. Ebaswe Good Park. Good Park no ebe Accra Mall. 30th August enne ena e shase to 1st September. 30th of August, next month. Exactly a month from today. And I shall in the 30th August to the 1st of September 2024. The fair would open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. It is shall send a peusikano egu on a fako. The Ecobank Joy News Mini Fair, Good Park, Ebayakra Mall, 30th August, near Shasie. Ubenya Nyoma to be there to engage with the various stakeholders in the housing value chain for your home ownership needs. The Ecobank Joy News Habitat Fair, get a house and make it a home. Ecobank Joy News Habitat Fair is in partnership with Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank, and powered by the Planned City Extension Project from Cities and Habitat, rent to own, and sponsored by Elegant Homes, where quality meets value. Safety and home solutions. You think of a door, we have it. G&J Technical Services, the generator people. Deftraco Woodlands, a master plan gated city. DPS Pipes, connecting you to life. Homeworld Building Supplies, let's build together. Global Lighting, your solution to quality lighting. Superlock, you deserve the best. Everlast, UPVC windows and doors, the right choice for windows and doors. Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough. Less Fortune Limited, curtains, be luxuriously perfect. DBS Roofing Industry, your roof expert, your virtual security, complete security solution. Yoben Security Doors, protecting lives and properties, and a Clifton Homes, beautiful homes, wise investment. Ecobank Joy News Habitat Fair, get a house, make it a home. Minty, be part of this one. De okwa deals na make a what and hana ubinyano. Ubinya dayato, ubinya sasiato, say home furnishing na opa, ubinya nyomeni nyinato, ewo, hamonshan and son, emfa emaye. Na abedwafono nase enti enche mobete omunyina enka sisia na afei ya hwe edjumedie no etimi atoamo. So we say Obi, good afternoon. I don't get it. Is the AG really interested in getting our supposed stolen money back? Considering the rejection by the AG's outfit, the third accused had also by 4 different letters by his lawyers requested and made proposals to the Attorney General for a plea bargain which would see Big C General, third accused principal, pay 2 million euros in exchange for the cessation of prosecution. Enamuraba and on the way Abba. Good afternoon, Obi. So doesn't former President Mahama and the NDC trust the judges now? Do they believe rule of law is working now? Asem Sebe Castro Ananu or in Sawem Odia brain and no Edas Castro Ananu. We say Obi, the good book says that anyone who will wrongly conspire in the name of politics to wrongfully and unjustly persecute a dead on arrival ambulance case against any innocent person will fall dead in the name of God of Honorable Ato Force. No, the statement issued this afternoon by the AG was a premature ejaculation statement combined with emotional instability, blah, blah, blah. Obi, in the case, why is the AG rushing in granting interviews to media houses just after some few hours of the appeal court ruling? But the same AG refused to do same when the AG is granting interviews. We issue statement as well granting interviews. Paul de Souso. And uti AG interview what we know is we issue statement. In fact, we've tried today Sanke Yebenya, the deputy AG and Edin Komoba. We've not been successful. I don't know the interviews are okay be our Kasawa station be so there I don't know. But for all we know, a statement and a way issue. Or say this action alone from the AG support the excellent submission. The excellent submission from lawyer Eduji Tamaklo about showing abuse of power in the name of politics. Justice will work again when there is change in government. Okay. Thank you. Paul de Souso, also virtual as Empower official panel member. Mate, Paul, yeah, that's it. Papa. Ma mention I mean trust. We say Obi. I wished you were here in Tema to see the wonderful convoy of road construction equipment the government has imported for every constituency. Breaking the 8 is possible. Nana Amponsa Bediako. Okay, I've gotten information. I say the AG spoke on Midday News on Joy FM with MFA. Very well, very well. Indeed. Thank you, Paul De Suso. Thank you for that information. We say, Obi, please find out from Kwete how many bags of rice constitute personal effect. Okay, meaning that when it's personal effect, they are on your duty. I think that's the thrust of your message. Obi, good afternoon. The NDC guys should proclaim, say when the appeal goes against them at the Supreme. They should proclaim same when the appeal goes against them at the Supreme Court. Greetings to Honorable Herbert Krapper, the Energy Minister of State at the Energy Ministry. Sir Shark and Odiwe. Abe Sir Shark, yeah, that's it, papa. Okay, let me see the other messages here. We say the NDC is suddenly friends to the court because it suits them. We are waiting to hear from them the same way when it goes against them. My greetings to a staunch NDC faithful Don Leo, who is also a true vandal, jubilating on the vandals platform. Gusty man or Brikum. Congratulations to Honorable Atoforsen and his team. No amount of witch hunt or work. Sir Prince or Ayen Suano. Sir Prince or Ayen Suano and or the way about Sir Prince. Yedase papa. Ekosiisen sune higher sempa 94.7 FM. Ma yensheba Mr. says unfoul message Maya. You can still come through with yours. I would share them with the rest of the world. Mayemra studio ana lawyer Enoch Amofa afuakwa sorry about cancer waha yene no nsha sinin komo councilor kwa na saying
Josuminia Obi
bibi ekoyi
nyame ado bibi ekoyi ye twen se obeba no wabekan ho oba ho
medase ma menka tie for say hwe nim se Dr. James Kwabnabon Feba bekan yen ho na afei the Honorable Von D the NDC MP for the people of Shifo Atimokwa eba bekan yen ho studio ana afei ya to yen common so but council what yen sema akoso and from the Court of Appeal and matters arising eto saying me pacho
yeah Obi my emfa enchia sonko emma watiefo ne wahwefo oda wohwe yen wo mu social media handles ne so na wonso awutie 94.7
sure
yenchia wo nyina
sure
na mabaha sei so dia na manfa omampanyin na nado danko akufuado one na bedi ekire a osanso ye Ghana mampanyin a wote apatem won se wa kan kase mo ne kase omampanyin beti apatem a na kire se dodo ne nyina ehunu so ye omampanyin na enso so no ye mfa tumi nhye ne sa so mo ye omampanyin eno nti onam ebo pro esre Ghana for wa hobrasiem se Ghana for emfa won gidie no entai na chi se de dan da wotai na chi no na o meye omampanyin se de be ya ne nisu ade hunu or the 2 on the 7th of April, February 2024, the University of Professional Studies, no, a bit near Benabua, my Ghana. Obi, your hemp and so we are seeing Equa. Sebi, I will say, what can Dinia will be doing Nimun Ehia, and Untina, what Chirakunkrumono, ye free be the Book of Chronicle, or they buy I can't cast anymore. I say Bresosem, a Brebian Swasema Eba. It's a Brea, a woman, a Yakoy and Nimuno. Osha mampanyin na danko akufu the foundation will lay amaye na e na no pay me kan mo sister station Adom FM
yes
so mampanyin akufu ado e Ghana health independence osha the massive injection of capital in infrastructure as far as hospitals and health facilities are concerned since the conception of this modern state called Ghana in the Fourth Republic you know o mampanyin bia into sa na mo ni bida e ba kwan so a or my road independence and they already the major foundation of my apart from the over 11,000 kilometers of roads any maintenance near there why you na ben you know and say a doubt or pa infidie mako 2,420 huntuma e the Black Star Square that's infidie 2,420 the Ministry of Local Government, Rural Development and Decentralization and the Ministry of Roads and Highways, and a Jospon group of companies, a J Plant Pool, and allied sister ministries, a Cahono, the various district assemblies, metropolitan municipal district assemblies, no, Ebenyasa and Fidie way a ruler, compactor, backhoe, bulldozers, graders any fidia de akwan ye maintain akwan no district bia benya ne so ne de na sabi ye mantamu akwan tipa trucks ka ho kakra aban timi fa quota enka so no brano no wusi nsuo to na sabi o na ye monka ofa so aye ye no da bia ye twen sa aban beba enne nyame adom in the history of our country no aban we take this bold initiative what to sa na mo kese we a opasa ade no ho to ma do bia nim say nye yi enne ayeyi district bia benya san fidie yi bia aban no committee ade a na be ka say o ma san fidie we say no be do anya fango because of sikasem ne ade aban the budget to allocation of budget to ho no more adequate supply of fuel for this machines e be ye mantem akwan esu ye be be ye mfudie akoka ye kwan ayentimi fa so fa ne mama aduane boa ye den a aduane wo ho na eso so ne se be ba kromu no nti no e ho aye den ne ho aye nna no san fidie we say wo ho no more at least rapid response on the maintenance of our roads no e dis adwuma no na mateme before ho atoyen wo ye research kire say ade a Ghana for hia pa bio apart from free senior high school no ye yakwan e ho asem obia ubio kasa fidie tum se ye mfre temamufo mfra ye frɛ sisi ye a ye makwan na so aban ba ye the Fourth Republic one ne akwan hene na nadanka kufuado didi na ye akwan hene ye apomuden hene na de ube shane kabanyina ne street nyina wi na se o de school so nyina amma no or ye school ra on na be my independence as far as your secondary education concern or retooling your secondary education e magana ye na free the boundary of finances and na ho no mo e man independent cross no and we be sa boundary na free ho we be sa border na free ho e man na free access globalization obi an na mu bi obi an cabinet kwa make amma approval say and a free compulsory senior high school education Emra Ghana like FQ bar your free compulsory universal basic education no Ghana ebenya free compulsory secondary education aye compulsory so we Ghana ni ba bia na one co school cry no na nya wo secondary education na say secondary education ese wunya whether TVET whether the normal secondary education grammar like and also per skill technical education e wo say wunya ansa na wo hu say what do hu de person you abrabo bia no so obeto aso bio na wonto aso bio no aban policy now cabinet de nsa sase and say e wo say obia compulsory uko secondary education obia ebi siya ma im ha say eda enuti say papa yi etu sa na mo wo say nyina nenne what the road friends say construction equipment ebe my district assemblies no now my more resolute or my more powerful or when ya hoden kese e de atimi maintain the inner roads and feeder roads and the town roads e wo ye montem ayemfa quota enkan so a e wo se e ba aban aba so na wona woda dwene e de sai ni so ade hunu ba ye no the local government minister or ho no mo Yewra Martin James Akosa o ye mrase bedwani e ma the people of Techiman North
FM
ono ye Techiman South
e wo se ye bona baso ye pa na ho brase ni nimde eni ade o ya ties adwumadi we chi a ebe mu no na the em de kra na ye the maintenance aspect of it how I be fast e be maintain say aban ejapade bia no e yana the management ne problematic we to de be ma na so no be akwohwe wo chi in the next 1 year 2 years no na ye basa aban ka we be hwe no be de twibanche obi de kwa yie ye de ye officer bi adwuma ke say ye use na anyhow not for the intended purpose at all no about the stringent measures go akwema ye de be safeguard this equipment say ye be make sure say the vision into ye de tools na more mine the taxpayers money e share mu through the common fund administrator no yetimi anya that value for money no 7 committee members and the special self we say so the member of parliament or war Mpotem Honomo district name the district chief executive and metropolitan municipal and district chief executives or more urban roads engineer or feeder roads engineer or more and pedophobia woman tem ho any soldier ni penya or oversight responsibility or those area hono so no e kan ho bi ye nim say soldier kan ho bi na is a discipline e wo ho no because on hwe say ye dip sa ye fidie ba koye niam bi a ensem fata na de emide home ni say excavator anka ho na manfo bi aka say e be ka koye niam bi a ense na enfata enti purposefully no sa fidie we say no e be boa ma yakwan etu we assembly bedwani ya assembly member we unit committee ni a e wo so mo ani gi because now what the request e come out with district chief executive and now presiding member say mo ntem mu kwan no e wo say eti be prapra so kakra ma mo say de be yatemam fo ho be to mo a now you are justified because mba prepare work plan na work plan ne so no and the be so e be full allocation machine ebeba ho na abeso abego afidie nim na afidie tia ye adwuma. And this is creating over 10,000 direct employment for the operators, servicemen on best service this equipment any idea.
Yes.
Now obi omo create regional service centers are or the service vans ebedi say fidie echi a ebehwe say maintenance, supply of maintenance, supply of parts, any servicing of this equipment, you know, ebeye brano say the life of this equipment, you know, ebetimi atena ho no mo ache letimi serve the intended purpose of why the government of Ghana committed these huge sums of money in procuring this long lasting equipment ebe boya ma ya kwan etimi agina so ye amaye na kakra aban nya sika na so de quota akanso a ye de ama contractor for no me quota akanso amaye sa ban enya duru ho na yesika mboabo no se ye de quota beguso a at least unnam so a eni kwan se eye kimkima ebu amanfo shock absorbers na amanfo tie airpai na amanfo car ofa dropping bi ana car bi o se menko edu ba bi areas bi o kwa na edu anwumra car bi aso nko because of the nature of the road wudi agro akronfo bi akwa mo e o kwan so ne sa ne mani nyina no will be a thing of the past because these machines are there in your district. These machines are available in your district. Men have been trained that you bet you from the central the central government.
Yes.
You train you could train you in China. You be training business or Ghana has here their counterparts know has to support them technology transfer as far as refurbishment of this equipment, managing this equipment. And using this equipment, I concern now. Nina also no eba be transcended to the corridors of the Ghanaian community. Everybody, the Ghanaian youth, you know, are capable of learning the working conditions of some of these machines. Now, it me assembling of this machine.
Agbesi Nuchu, a member of the NDC, you say, Obi, let the MPP rep know that such initiative also took place under JDM. All districts were given equipment for maintaining roads in their district, so it is not the first time. He should stop talking as if this is the first in our history. Agbesi Nuchu.
Mami kanche if it's honorable Agbesi Nuchu I know and I say any of Agbesi Mr. Agbesi Nuchu. Ebinsi that's a buy and supply 7 equipments are year kwan ewo every district. Omanpanyi Kufuor time you supply graders be to the some districts. Omanpanyi Mahama time you aware some machines ekoi. Ebi why the tractors crack on some district assemblies any idea. But it is in segments. Ultimately be away nye. Unim say obi your kwan be ho na say utwa so a. Engineer fika say a dozer and the betimi be kwan nim. Ansana grader no etimi aye surface no why level in this land man ewo so. Who the grader nkwa koma district no na say equipment we nkan ho be da adwuma no we tipper truck e ka ho baby ho no ma be hia so ba carry foreign material laterite every baby na dey we hwe aguso now the grader no a level so na roller no so afa so compact no water tanker no e dey su apete so roller no so afa so compact no say dey be kwan be more trouble. And this is the first time aban bi e supply a set of road maintenance equipment to every district in this country. And in the past say aban bi supply graders in Niema it was in segments. But this is the first time in the history of our fourth republic or Mampenyin and Danko Kufuor. I was a Ghana for Bonabaso, a set of road maintenance equipment. The difference is that Abaya or Maya Bidano, no single provided single equipment. Grader, and a trata. Uko assembly si a bunch of trata bucket bisiwo, not trata no aye obsolete. A mura fufu, this is one man, and yadu na your friend say the plow this plow I want to come on there the form baby it has no use but wait there ubehu ni say dozer ewo ho ubehu ni say tipper truck e ka ho shakma tipper trucks ni bi kese ni bi e ka ho ubehu ni say roller e ka ho backhoe e ka ho wheel loader the sanwa ni say kofa laterite wheel loader na ebe drive ya ko the laterite site or no akasa de laterite na load to the tipper truck no ko hwe agum say kofa stones no loader na ko load no na tipper truck na ko hwe agum mo ebe ma less cost to the running of the various assemblies now local governance no ebe efficient because government has decentralized road maintenance to the various district levels now ebe boa amaye ho ahenhan kakra na central government ho ahenhan no na timamufu a omutua to no so no enya value for the tax that they are paying in the long run no obi e de yedie e na brain because utu kwan na say kwan no nam so na efficient unya problem bia o kwan so a ukontem na wabantem ebio foodstuffs are aka the various farm gates are entimi mass city center e supply me nya aduane ane bo form no so no we no so ebeboa na be open the farm gates ne farm routes no ama cars etimi akọ the various farm gates na kofa aduane abreye a initiative of government a what tripling effects on the economy of our country e was see ebo aban abaso obi ankasa aban bi ma district assemblies equipment, but this is the first time a certain government supply a set of road maintenance equipment. My district, Obuasi municipal. In the past, I'm good. A chair, Obuasi municipal. I think say asphalt plant or something. Now, on your this 7 set of equipment, can Obuasi municipal assembly or asphalt plant now the Ebekana is about gravels. Now I talk bitumen. Obetimi kwai road surfacing aka because of the equipment our set of road maintenance equipment and road construction equipment now. I don't see abaya konenim. Ye ma decentralization so no akonenim. I was see a baba so me fa nya manyosem. Ye hu ni ye say ye Ghana fo ye yonti e na ban tu sa na mo no. Ye hu ni ye say Ghana fo su a ye so ache e wo yakwan ye mantem akwan ho nti. Obi, wo fa insho to wo fa mantem bi akwan a na oyem kura hyew. Baby ho no mo a obehia se car be ha fa gravels boulders bi na kwa be hwia gum se de be ya e be boni pan kwa ho ban na so no cost component obe de akwakoye okwa assembly no ho no ma we capacity because the sika kura no enso no to obe de akwakoye ma na timamufo e to amenem cars e break down ho e kwan ni bi ho krampo na aye closed streets and closed roads because of some of these gullies are developing or akwan ni mu no. I don't so man penny to us and I don't expect any person to be sitting somewhere and be sending messages say oh my Yebra Mahama SND graders and name. What is the health of these graders now? The maintenance system of these graders are the the difference is that we have learned from the mistakes of the past. This project, the district road improvement program of this government has learned from the mistakes of the past governments. You supply just equipment and some equipment to the district is of no use to the various districts. But now we have provided a set of equipment. We are providing a set of equipment. It's of use to the equipment to the district. Obi, we say low bed and they offer low bed say on farm machine. Enko baby low bed no or can say be a 5,000, 7,000. Then just a short distance.
Okay.
No ajusika boom.
Okay.
I buy out of 50 low beds. I can this machines no. Add the 50 low beds no enko district oh. Ebeko ebi a cluster of district zones bi ho no man low bed ne bako esi ho no say de be ya uhia na be load machines no eko bebe kwakoye adwuma ewia na san kofa kwakwesi ho no a eti cost so.
Yes.
And there has been a lot of thoughts that has gone into it. Maintenance. Because of the maintenance culture of Ghanaians, I can't yanka say you say Ghana, your problem with maintenance. I buy the boka ya de kama. Ye be wie no, efie miensa uko hu a obeka say nye no ye kotwa home mfefefe no. Na ye jam na tisia pansa. Aban hu ni sa because car e machines no ho no eso. Machines no e 2 years warranty.
Okay.
And 2 years warranty no, e was a proactive servicing and maintenance e cost machine no at no cost or zero cost to the government. For the next 2 years, servicing and maintenance in free because of the 2 year warranty. And supplier create what we call the regional maintenance baits.
Yes.
There were more maintenance vehicles fully stocked with parts and equipment oil and seals and those kind of things are these earth moving equipments using periodically say they be district e be what region him I don't say district we na the maintenance time aso then they move in go and service the machines and make sure say o my year o bibia na machines no akakoye adwuma say we and the team, the 7-member management team are as we make sure say the machines are used for the intended purpose. Say the beya yan kase machines ni oho ube hu no na buy crash panyi bi ana say aban mu ni bi ana say sebio na nabi afa machines ni bi ne yirefo bi ase machine ni nkodwi ni yirefo so machine nkodwi enkotu ase kan say amna yesie nipa wom bako wo ho nti enkobo amna enkotu septic tank or be ni sa dia enya district ni project any idea no making sure say the machines are used for the intended purpose and the intended good for the generality of the members within the district. Now, the public interest will be surely achieved as far as that is concerned.
Council, me remember what was so, and one of the big stories I follow up the Court of Appeal ruling. Moments after ruling the public, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the Honorable Godfred Yeboah Dame Esquire, issue statement ana onoa ensa ene shase medikan kan statement ni munsem amamo dada nyame yensa kan Honorable Godfred Yeboah Dame nan kasa wa homa ne so Honorable Akwabe Ekosiisen so ni
ebato that e
nyame adom na wonso okay edikan me makan wo statement a we issue ye no I don't know the decision of the Court of Appeal and no eba as a shock to you and
no friendly I said because yes it was quite surprising to me because this is not the first time I saw cases with financial law cases here. Yeah, from the 2001 now Supreme Court of Ghana, Court of Appeal and the High Court, they have firmly established all the principles regarding them. So they are two who send the financial loss cases here and woefully causing the damage to public property, what it is about, and the procurement breaches. And I say the evidence I leave you a court or case also has been open to the public. The whole public follow case the case in evidence reality. And so far, the lady what Boy Abofaka Rebecca cogent evidence. I share court say clearly was financial loss in the case. The house of financial loss established. The financial loss was established when.
Too bad. Honorable Ahoman article, we'll work the lines and get him back now for no atwa. So Godfred Yeboah Dame, Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana. We'll get him back now for no etimi atwa so edi and come on what he makes of the Court of Appeal ruling and in the statement. Yes. Honorable Pacho, Ahoman article indeed to us on Pacho.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It financial loss. It was established time Ghana government imported ambulances into Ghana 2014 and make us say if I not even ambulances to import vehicles or Rebecca cash into vehicles I appoint because Minister for Health now or office at the time I appointed imported vehicles into the country or no answer letters, not one, but at least two HSA vehicles were ordinary vans and which were not fit for purpose. As I say, no ambulance, but no normal buses, and for example, a car organizer just structure. Now, apart from that, yes, just medical equipment are not any ambulances out of the because of that, ordinary vans. Even the kind of vehicles which were imported were contrary to what the agreement stipulated. Agreement specify particular vehicle as a yadiba for the purpose. I'm saying 8311, 8309. I'm sorry. And we're importing here 8311. Apart from that, from the body, from the engine size, to even the interior and other parts, other material parts of the vehicle, were contrary to the specifications of the contract. Now, I will say later on Mexico medical equipment number. From December 2014 up to January 2017, NDC4 a free power. Momentum now fix any part.
And the reason is that the vehicles could not even be converted into ambulances. And the AM we a report by the National Ambulance Service and Ministry of Health. Apart from the National Ambulance Service report, Ministry of Health consulted the authorized dealers in Mercedes-Benz because cars, Mercedes-Benz cars. No, my formal report in 2015 before NDC for Liverpool said no, vehicles ain't been converted into umbrella. Forget about it. So over 2 years, the vehicles are not converted into ambulances. So it was not beyond doubt. Say, as for the financial laws, there is no established. Until we face our question, when I say that question has been answered, was there financial laws? Financial laws are established. The next question, I say, more answer. If we are a lawyer, now a judge, so I charge you. There no year. I cost is financial laws, and that is what we call in law the causation. Establish the causation or the causal link between the act of the accused persons and the offense. Now, again, yes, sure court to say, and yet first accused, now a deputy minister for finance at that time after forcing letters or Troy saying fine service else is not transactional, it should not have occurred or would not have materialized. Because Minister for Health at that time, I confirm person supply ambulance, or much man. I said no. Only the company sign shares are a juvenile. So informal letters, not oral word. I have because you've been a car and say letters I attend in court. I said no. On the transaction there, no. Apart from that, nobody in the Ministry of Health authorized this Ministry of Finance. Yeah, I register importing ambulances and they're going to service the LCs. Now, LCs is not just anything at all. LCs, we are given to almost the vehicles shall be paid for through the establishment of letters of credit. Into LCs, only they pay the form of payment for the vehicles. What I say?
Yes.
And I can't say just security. It is a means of payment. If it's near just security, say how were the vehicles paid for? And indeed, all our witnesses were asked this question and they answered it. And the vehicles were paid for. Lawyers for the defense say, into how were the vehicles paid for? And the vehicles are free. The vehicles were paid for 2.39 million euros through letters of credit established. And the amount was drawn under the LCs. To get the point. So the question is who authorized the establishment of the LCs? Again, the former Deputy Minister for Finance, Dr. Force, clearly that's the evidence. On the 2 letters, dated 7th August and then 12th August 2014. After that, LCs established 18th August 2014. After that, ambulances, fancy, big C for no more Dubai, almost supply. Into yes, else is not established ambulance and can supply. Do you get a point?
Yes.
Then what is most curious and say this is a contractor and at the time I'm perform no contract in parallel. Because the contract was signed in December 2011. And the contract now. No, December 2012, if my memory serves me. I think December 2012. And if you look at the contract now, they had 11 months to deliver all the 200 ambulances. So from December 2012, it will take you up to November 2013. The contract is set performing. And by August now, more talks or letters of credit say, ambulance. There was no contract performed. The time for performance of the contract had lapsed. From again to this is a contractor which is being entered into with the company based in Dubai. It's not a foreign business agreement. It's an international business agreement. And clearly by laws organizing Parliament and Parliament and who now all deputy minister for finance, one has your own, what I say, yes, service it is okay. For us, the point I'm making is Clearly, we had established a case against the accused persons. It was not in doubt. The accused persons were supposed to open their defense. They had indeed started opening their defense. The first accused person had closed his case. He brought witnesses on the September Bao, September person authorized or document to him, also need document via. There's nothing on record by which he authorized the transaction. Other witnesses were called. Omar Klusi, Japa, third accused, also in the course of opening his defense. Then, after the blue, Court for Appeal comes up with this ruling. Of course, it was an appeal against the ruling on the submission of notice, which had been made by the trial judge in March 2023. This is appealing that Ombabe determined, and then that is it. That is why I am surprised by the outcome. But of course, it's not the end of it. I mean, Obi, when we say this is not the first time setback in my effort to prosecute these financial crimes. Even Opunike Simpono had a setback. The same submission of notice ruling, which was made by the former judge, I think Justice Konyanuga, called Supreme Court first. So surprisingly, Supreme Court quashed ruling by Justice Konyanuga. I had to go and review. Now review, I had success on review, and the ruling was reversed. The Samba High Court said we should have opening defense. Then there was an application made, and the trial judge then stated we have to start afresh. We have to start de novo because Batana Justice Oneniga Wareta again under strange ruling. It was one that really was also against all reasonableness. I took it in my stride, and I appealed against it to the Court of Appeal. And I succeeded. He just as his number, just as me, I'm used to know. But I appealed against this one. And I'm very sure that it will be set aside. But really, the ruling there, in my respectful view, most unreasonable, and it goes against the essence of all the authorities on causing financial loss. Indeed, there is no case as clear as this one. There's no case in which the ingredients of causing financial loss have been established in as lucid a manner as this one.
But Council, so what kind the Court of Appeal decision now? Minya be enche 125 pages. But I was just taking a cursory look. So me share because a majority in Dusha a 2-1. So what share the first Justice our cat 2 nehona Justice Akabuafo paragraphs 149 150 151 of the decision na okawa 149 or say the evidence further establishes that the ambulances were initially parked at the forecourt of the State House, but they were moved to the Air Force Base at Burma Camp by the National Ambulance Service at the direction of the Ministry of Health sometime in November 2015. Mr. Foster Ansong Brijan, PW1, who testified on 31st May 2022 said, quote, looking at the time we parked them there, the current state, the vehicles have actually deteriorated, unquote. 150 or say, my lords, if the above is accurate, in my respectful opinion, it defies logic that Jakpa at Business, agent of the supplier Big C, would be charged with causing financial loss to the state based on the fact in the record of appeal when the plan put in place to rectify the defect of the ambulances to enable their use has not been implemented because the government failed to meet its obligations under the roadmap agreed to in 2016. In any event, that roadmap leading to the shipment of the part to Tema Port was agreed upon between the Ministry of Health and Big C, not with Jakpa at Business. So it is not clear why Jakpa at Business would be asked, quote, to go and pay and clear the items to rectify the anomalies on the ambulances, unquote. As a corollary but to the foregoing, it bears mentioning that if there are vehicles, even if deficient in certain requisite parts, parked in Ghana, an action plan in place between the MOH and the supplier Big C to rectify the deficiencies and additional parts or accessories in storage at Tema Port for the said rectification. then there is a need to reassess the quantum of the alleged loss, a factor that impacts the case against all the accused in this case, and calling into question the maturation of the charges preferred against the accused persons. It's essentially, the justice of the court of appeal.
Yes, I heard everything. But the point, the judge, with all respect, misses the point. The financial loss was caused not because the vehicles were parked at the forecourt of the State House and were moved to a different location and were left to the vagaries of the weather. The financial loss was caused in the first place when the wrong specification of the vehicles were even supplied. Number two, the financial loss was caused because the vehicles that came were not ambulances, were not fit for purpose, and indeed could not be converted into ambulance. And I've told you that indeed there was a report from Ministry of Health and National Ambulance Services which show that the vehicles that were supplied were so fundamentally defective that nothing could be done. And indeed, this report from the licensed dealers in Mercedes-Benz showed that the vehicles that were actually supplied could not be converted into ambulances. In this, with just vehicles, see one more 10 days to 100 years to 10 weeks HC material. In the first place, the vehicles should not have been supplied. Wrong specifications supplied, not fitted with the relevant equipment, indeed could not be converted into ambulances subsequently. And if indeed a quashed which now converted into ambulances, from the part you really read, this thing that you're talking about occurred in 2015.
Yes.
The movement. How come from 2015 now until 2017, NDC for legal office, they couldn't convert it into ambulances? How come they couldn't fix the equipment? Because it couldn't be converted into ambulances. And that is not based on the oral testimony, it's based on documentary evidence from the licensed dealers in Mercedes-Benz, which we are still in evidence at the trial.
Then based on what?
No, but the point about the fact that even the court factor was split in the judgment in Pono,
yes,
supports my view. Say the judgment itself is not sacrosanct. Is not one that cannot be impeached, because even on the court factor, the court factor was divided. It was a majority decision 2-1.
Yes.
And everything in my training and upbringing would dictate that such a judgment ought to be questioned. We have to test the soundness of the decision at the Supreme Court. Not as a matter of testing the soundness. For me, it defied, with all respect, every reason. Because, yes, the vehicles were supplied. Number one, the vehicles were wrong, were not the ones specified under the contract. Number two, the vehicles were bereft of all the necessary ingredients, as somebody would say, for one better expression, the necessary features of an ambulance. It didn't have all the equipment. Apart from that, they were defective. Even the engine capacity, the engine size that was set out in the agreement, the body and all that, all the interior parts were different from what was supposed to be supplied. Now, after that, more than 2 years, they could not be converted into ambulances because there's a report, technical report from those who deal in such vehicles, that those vehicles, with all respect, Ghana are useless because you can't convert them into ambulances. So, what again is a video? And as I said, so that's why I made the point there. You cannot have a much clearer case regarding financial loss than this matter.
Than this one. But now, me person, me busa council say, based on what then would the Ministry of Health then agree with the suppliers on a roadmap to rectify, for which reason some parts were imported into this country? And you clearly heard the Court of Appeal judge Akabuafu make that point, say that roadmap was between the Ministry of Health and the suppliers. If they don't understand why Japa at business would be implicated in this matter.
So first and foremost,
yes,
even if this roadmap is valid, anything to go by, it's not after the fact. It's not after the wrong vehicles have been put into the country. It's not after the wrong specification and all the various breaches under the agreement have been committed. It's not also after payment has been made, contrary to the laws of Ghana. Payment in favor of a company which did not have financial approval even though they were supposed to have parental approval. Now, secondly, as I stated earlier on, which I'll repeat, indeed, that so-called arrangement to fix the ambulances could not be carried out because the vehicles should not be converted into ambulances. And it is not I, Godfred Yeboah Dame, saying it. It is as per the evidence that was stated at the trial. So the judges examined that particular evidence or they ignored it. If that evidence was ignored, then that's basis for us to have the decision set aside. And I did not think that there was an adequate assessment of the evidence of the prosecution from the judgment as I have considered it clearly. And if you look at the judgment, the dissenting opinion of Justice Quashed clearly it examined all the ingredients of the offense. It also examined the necessary material pieces of evidence that were tendered by the prosecution. And I think that is what is most important. So where, with all respect, one judge decides to look only at one version of the facts and which will support a certain conclusion, well, I think that it's up to us to question it on appeal. And I think this is not because of any emotional attachment about the case and all. Let me say, I hold a very important office, Attorney General Minister for Justice. I'm responsible for safeguarding the rule of law. And I'm responsible for ensuring that where there's a decision against the Republic, which is really a dangerous precedent, that decision ought to be questioned. Unfortunately, this is not the highest court of the land, it's the Court of Appeal. The highest court of the land is there, and it will be examined or to be composed by judges of 5 judges of the court of the Supreme Court. So I think that indeed, for the sake of ensuring that there's public accountability, upholding the rule of law, and in the interest of the fight against impunity, which is that if you are in public office, you cannot just do as you like. If one ministry responsible for a subject matter actually writes a letter saying that no, this transaction should not be proceeded with, and then another deputy minister, Minister for Finance, who is responsible for protecting the public purse, Minister of Finance, before they make a payment, during the process they go through, even I as Attorney General sitting here, when I saw them write letters for payments to be made, they will go through and question and I have to justify. So with the fact that you are the Minister of Finance, does not mean that you should ignore or disregard all the factors that you have to consider before you make payments. In fact, that's actually the most important duty.
Yeah, but how about Counsel? How about the points? If there are any people to blame for what happened, it should be officers at the Ministry of Health, because the agreement essentially was between the Ministry of Health and Big C. Right. Japa and the Finance Ministry.
No problem. And the same Ministry of Health, as I've indicated to you, wrote saying that they did not want to proceed the transaction. And the same Minister of Health never requested the Minister for Finance or the Deputy Minister for Finance to authorize the payments for the vehicles. And the vehicles, as I've indicated, were paid for with the LCs that were established consequent upon the authorization of the Deputy Minister for Finance, Dr. Forster. So it's as simple as that. Minister of Health that you're seeking to blame, they self-wrote, say no, this transaction, you shouldn't proceed with it. That they did not have money to establish any LCs. Then someone sitting somewhere in another ministry, Deputy Minister of Finance, right to request for payment to be made. And there's no that at all. That request for LCs to be established was what resulted in the payment. But if you look at the agreement, the payment was supposed to be made through the establishment of letters of credit, through LCs. There is no other base of payment. The payment was by LCs. So if you write asking for LCs to be established, what are you requesting to do? In order to request for payment to be made?
But would you also say, sir, subsequent to the letter from Sherry Aite, the for the want of a better expression, the counter letter from the AG in the advice, in this case?
No, the Deputy Attorney General then actually wrote that they should comply with the terms of the contract.
Mm-hmm.
And the terms of the contract would have required that one, you ensure that there's pre-shipment inspection done. If they had carried out that pre-shipment inspection, they would have realized that the vehicles that were supposed to be supplied were contrary to the specifications under the agreement. Yet, the payment was made when there had been no such pre-shipment inspection. So if you are Deputy Minister for Finance and there are terms set out in the agreement that you claim you are performing, and the Deputy Attorney General has advised that comply with the terms of the agreement, are you not going to check whether the agreement has been complied with? It's as simple as that.
In this case, no, that
is why in all these financial cases, a very important element is whether the officer in question was reckless or negligent. And indeed, complete negligence or recklessness is sufficient to actually show mens rea or the intention to commit the offense.
In this case, no, your understanding is the Deputy Minister of Finance then, for the reasons one find out if the terms have been complied with, pursuant to the advice of the Deputy AG, or folly omitted that element, of course, in financial laws, no, right? That's your argument.
Yeah, it's not only him, but all those who were involved with the commission of the offense. We had initially charged the then Chief Director, who had also written letters at that time, and who had actually made some false representations to the Public Procurement Board. So the Chief Director, who was the second accused, actually, or catch a PPA was Big C was the one which negotiated for the funding of the project, when it was not true. The funding that he was talking about was actually a Stanbic Bank loan, which was never obtained. In fact, that Stanbic Bank loan was even disregarded. And then the Deputy Minister of Finance, Arthur Forson, then authorized that they should pay for the vehicles out of the Ministry of Health account. So it's not only him. The second accused was charged, but it was he was very, very much unwell. He had kidney disorder. He had to be flown to India. So we had no option but to discontinue against him. And then the person whose act also brought Big C into the picture. Big C supplied the vehicles pursuant to the introduction of JAPA, of Big C to the government of Ghana. The Minister for Health and all those public officials never knew about Big C. He brought Big C into it. And he even profited an amount as much as 700,000 euros after the 2.3 million euros paid. And Obi, how can it be reasonable that you tier for vehicles 2.3 or 2.37 million euros or 2.39 million, I'm sorry, 2.3 million euros thereabout? That will be agents, middleman, or no, 700,000 euros. Anyway, this is Ghana.
Yes, Council, the other thing I may pay clarity on, your insistence, I remember during cross-examination, they said the former finance minister said Tekpe entre evidence just on the order, no? You wanted to see something in writing?
Yes, because he himself even had admitted in cross-examination in matters bordering on withdrawals from the public purse, you always have to evidence it in writing. You can't authorize so being from government purse with nothing in writing. Is it possible? No. Even here, this office.
Yeah, but Arthur Forson signed for his boss, no?
No, that is not what I'm talking about. So he says that he authorized. No, every person here, I mean, in every ministry, so far as you know the minister, if you are writing, by convention, you write for the minister.
Sure.
You understand? So that for is immaterial, it's irrelevant. So the question is, and even in criminal law, various financial law cases that have been done in the past, clearly, authorities have to defend that the mere fact that you acted on the authority of your boss alone does not mean that you are extricated from liability. Two parties say, will be more as a changer. That's a service. My deputy, after Yeboah, no nice gentleman, penny was me. That's it. Wakoye bibi na about attention. Oh, no, so agent and instruction. You see, so I can instruct agent. So I can instruct Yeboah. So go and breach the procurement laws of the country. Now for Yeboah, he goes to breach the procurement laws of the country. Now you're charging now. So me the my boss instruct me. So even if it is true, does that mean that you will not be liable? Clearly, that's poor reasoning. It cannot be proper reasoning at all. The authorities are there. Is that in criminal law, with that kind of responsibility, they will not lie.
But the other thing would be the parliamentary approval, because you made that point earlier. Is it the case if a contract between the Ministry of Health and a private company, Iowa internationally, as per Article 181, was a Parliament for approval near there, say why should the agent of that private company and a deputy minister of finance be held criminally liable?
Obi.
Yes.
The share part of negligence and the recklessness I'm talking about.
Okay.
Say, right now, if I'm the attorney general, I'm supposed to review a document clearly between between Ghana to Ghana and another foreign company, and it is tried and it'll be called Parliament. Now, my single Parliament because I have an interest in it. If in future Assembly Nasi approval say indeed we said that panel because when you say person cause financial loss, these are factors that you take into account. Whether it should have been so clear to you, said no, this one day, I think I say no, I say. Do you get the point I'm making? So that's the whole point. I mean, right now, Parliament, they go, hey, this is you are going to Parliament. They go, even an agreement that I think the money was refunded. To date, Edith already they say, oh, you are going to Parliament, and he didn't go to Parliament, and he violated procurement laws when the money was even returned. What about this one? I mean, so I don't think that there's anything controversial about.
It doesn't matter. Council said the term sheet from Stanbic, and there was a found procurement. No, that one was approved by Parliament. No.
Yes, but that was what was used. They ignored it. They disregarded it, so it doesn't come in at all. The term sheet approved by Parliament was ignored in this transaction. And that is, so as I said, there are more facts in this case which make the case so bad. Say, indeed, if a judge later on says there's no case made by prosecution, it's more shocking. It's actually quite horrifying, very, very horrifying. And I think for the sake of establishing the proper precedent in Ghana law, we should appeal just for that purpose.
But the other thing on the appeal, they say, legal vacation, the court will resume, I think, in October. That would be barely 2 months to general elections. How would that sit in this whole age?
I mean, it shows that when I'm prosecuting a case, there are no political considerations. I mean, there are no political considerations. I prosecute it on the basis of the evidence and all that. I will say, if someone commits a crime 2 weeks to an election, we shouldn't prosecute the person because a crime is about to, an election is about to take place. I will say if a member of parliament commits an offense, an MP commits a crime a week or two before an election, we shouldn't prosecute him. We did not take account of politics when we prosecuting or preferring a charge. The charges have already been preferred. Court of Appeal has made a decision. The decision is bad. Yes, I think that equity and justice will require that I appeal against it. And indeed, let me be given the opportunity of doing so. And due process will be followed. The registry of the court is not closed in the vacation. The registry will be open for filing of processes. And even in the vacation, steps can be taken to have a matter heard. These are not unusual rules. These are not rules that I am making for the first time. And these are rules that have existed from time immemorial.
I have heard the argument being made, say, maybe the Honorable Attorney General should have accepted the plea bargain. Some of the accused persons at the Betu, in which would have resulted in over 2 million euros being refunded to the state. Did that happen? So, plea bargain, no, a buy. Why didn't you accept it if it happened?
Yeah, but if indeed that plea bargain proposal, I should let you know that the case was not frivolous, that the case was actually quite serious, and that the accused persons themselves were even concerned about the case. Now, the plea bargaining proposal was made by the third accused, and later on, the first accused also wrote a letter saying he had no objection to that plea bargaining and all that. But I'm saying, the manner in which that plea bargaining came, if
Obi, Natisa, Pibagena. And then come back again and say, hey, Makoji's Kevin Manoma. The offer was that a company which was not a party to the case, Big C, will be the one which will pay the money. And then the case should be ended. I should just throw the towel and end the prosecution. So clearly there was no direct offer from the accused persons. There was no direct accusement of liability. And then they were saying, they were hiding behind the Big C company in Dubai, that they will come and say, Big C, which is not a party to proceedings in Ghana, and all that. Various questions should have been asked. If I'd accepted that, I'm sure you guys would have questioned my integrity. And if subsequently Big C had defaulted, how is that person going to be held responsible? If Big C had not paid, I mean, how is that going to justify to the people of Ghana? So that said, oh, I entered into a deal with them, and then the same accused person will have gone around to say that, oh, they were not guilty after all, they never accepted liability and all that. So I think that clearly that proposal, even though they were interested in it, they actually set it up as a trap, and I resisted it.
And you are saying, say, pursuant to Section 30 of Court Act, no, say, and the steps say what say we follow in plea bargain, no, say we follow now to the latter, getting concrete commitments, say the monies will be paid, and so now they are called before the court for the court to give the stamp of approval, and still.
So we actually indicated to them the terms. We all made our counter proposals, and they were unwilling to more or less. Yeah, we actually inquired from the first accused after he wrote the letter, whether by that he was covered under the plea bargaining act. So I don't know, obviously a politician, so looking at his status as a politician, and then he said, oh, he's not covered under the plea bargaining act. And if you realize, he went on radio, his lawyers went on radio, TV to use all kinds of unprintable words against me, as they have always been doing. They be come out to my team, when I'm dealing with them, I deal with them in terms of the law. I use language that is permissible in terms of the law. I will never insult any of them. They insulted me and all that, and that's why they plea bargaining field.
Oh, okay. And to mean said
use all kinds of unprintable words that me is not true. They are not coming under the plea bargaining act. So we are not coming under the plea bargaining act. Then why are we not talking about plea bargaining?
It is based on some narrative we pushing in the media, no.
Apart from that, I've told you that the manner in which the plea bargaining came
itself, no.
It didn't show that was coming directly from any of the parties to the matter. It didn't guarantee payments, because if Big C had defaulted in paying the amount of money in question, how was I going to hold the accused persons liable when they themselves have stated that they're not coming under the plea bargaining act? And if you're not coming under the plea bargaining act, then why are we talking about plea bargaining?
Counsel, my final two questions now for the interview. Number one, in your statement, and then some I've heard people say the choice of words in describing the judgment of the Court of Appeal, was a bit harsh. And if you say,
I don't think so. Which of the words?
For example, say the decision of the Court of Appeal to be perverse. People feel say a bit harsh.
It's not. I mean, you're a law student, Obi. I'm sure you have come across real judgment in which the words have been used. Perverse has been used. Judgment to the High Court is perverse, and for the matter, the Court of Appeal is set aside, or the Supreme Court set aside. These are words that are allowed the court of law. They are not insults in the manner that they have always sought to use against. When I say they, I mean the lawyers for the accused persons. And we heard it even today, the kind of words that they use on me. No, there's not a single word which is not permissible in the court of law used in my press release.
Okay, into the bit about say grossly unfair to the nation and inimical to the fight against impunity and abuse in public office. Which abuse will be the letter signed by the Deputy Finance Minister then?
So I said that number one is grossly unfair. Is grossly unfair a wrong word to use or wrong expression to use? It's not. The phrase grossly unfair, I mean, only say that it's very unfair. And it's nothing over that.
Yes.
When I say it's inimical to the fight against public accountability or fight against impunity, I am saying that it militates against the effort to stamp out impunity in public service. And when I say so, what I mean is that the essence of causing financial loss offense, it is to prevent public officers from abusing their discretion unnecessarily. It's to prevent public officers from acting recklessly or negligently. If you act recklessly in public service, that's impunity. Because indeed, you are supposed to safeguard the public interest. You are supposed to safeguard the public purse. So if you act in a way that causes loss of the public purse or any part of the public purse, that is impunity.
Council, now my final question said, and I may would be say, now the claim has been made against the Attorney General Godfred Dame. Say under this administration, there have been even more gross abuses of state power in the award of contract, and the recent, expose there. MP for North Tongue.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. No complaint has been made to me about this so-called expose. Most of the time, even yesterday, this was I heard a statement that the money has not been paid and that kind of thing. In any case, we don't even know the facts of the matter. What constitutes a scandal or abuse of the law in the process? I have not heard. Secondly, sitting in this office, every allegation of wrongdoing that is brought to my attention has been dealt with. I am here. I have actually 40 various cases that have been occasioned by reckless acts of the NDC. Recently, we did this BC net arbitration in London. I'm sure the ruling will come out in a month or so, where somebody is suing the government of Ghana for 5 billion Ghana cedis and more as a result of a contract which did not go through procurement approval. It had no procurement approval whatsoever between 2012 and 2019. The NDC government decided to award a contract regarding the port payment system. Yes, to a company called GCNet. The original contract was in 2002 when there was OPP approval. It was for 10 years. And it lapsed on 2012. In 2012, I'm sorry. In 2012, just by a stroke of a letter written by a minister, the contract was extended by 1 year. Subsequent in 2013, they extended the same contract again by 5 years, which was to expire in 20. It was expired initially for 3 years, meaning it was supposed to expire in 2016. Before he left office in 2016, they had signed the same contract by 5 years. Can you imagine that? Even before the contract would expire, they signed it further for 5 years, and all without PP approval. And now I'm the one defending it, and I've not made noise about it. And people would just, with all respect, get up and a little small. It's just easy people. So you see how they are. When they latch on a little part of the fact without regard to the whole, and they start running to town with it. They don't know the full facts of what they are talking about. Apart from that, there are various cases. The President, even in State of the Nation address, alluded to the 10 trillion cases people were doubting, and I showed evidence of it. Cases mounting over 10 trillion and all that, judgment debt, all arising from the NDC time. So, if it's a matter of matching records and all that, I think the records are there for all of us to see. And indeed, this administration, all the matters, I think even last week also, ABAJ was in court with the special prosecutor and all that. There are many cases that the special prosecutor has been handling against members of this administration.
Yeah. Right. Council, better say. I believe, sir, we will talk again. Right. I mean, when the appeal is eventually filed, and then other questions are about up. No, you don't even come. Why? Mean so me that say. That's the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice Godfred Yeboah Dame and Motezi and no aiding come. Ekosiisen ne higher sempa 94.7 FM. Check with your time. 2 more minutes and it will be 6 p.m. Wow. Mreno akọ papa. But because Honorable Vondi Abeka and Sawaha already ne lawyer for kwa AD and Komo Dada. But Ansan Mema lawyer Atwaso, and now we focus on interviewing Honorable Dame Ayena Maji Vondi in Swajinchen. Yentie we emresi aye ba yeden Komo air Twaso. Ekosiisen in Adophanum. Stay with us. Sumu Asempa 94.7 FM. Ekosiisen Jumedian Wasugusua Wutieno. Ma Yensheni and Twaso with our discussion segment. Franco Trading Enterprise boy any day no ebremo into Monshan so and my son a kind honorable Vondi Abekayan Sai or Parliament and on final sitting day and sana on Marco recess and honorable recess we need the till see baby elections on Moko recess we are. And I'm over saying about Sanya, my breaking you for elections. Oh, okay, Mate. Council, quickly on this Court of Appeal decision and the Honorable Godfred Dame so the Atuja.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Obi, may you be the Republic versus Keselato forcing and 2 others, no, so trial media action. And I have some personal knowledge of some of the issues across in this transaction in open court, both documentary and matters that has to do with cross-examination are abedra. And I support the call by the of the AG say obey appeal the case at the Supreme Court. No, say the be what because of this case. No, one. Before even the appeal goes on,
Asempa FM.
Adebakwa so say we are in a democratic country and we are governed by the rule of law. And once yaji rule of law atumuno, na Ghana ya adversarial system, your court system, no, friends, prosecution, na defense and so account, na the neutral arbiter or a judge and so no, edina numusem aba no na judgment, you know. Yinya man yourself Ephraim. Na yema court ni juma. Bijidi say ene you know belonging to the other side of the political divide. They are jubilating because of this decision. And so that decision where a decision a court na ya vilify or more politically. Court na sebi ya can say me ya fa or more. It is the same court and this decision we say so na aba. Na I've always maintained say judicial system no it is only the Supreme Court of Ghana that entertains even cases that travel from the district court through the High Court, Court of Appeal, and to the Supreme Court. And they are inundated with cases. It is the last appellate court of this land. And Assembly Akohwa, first one no na single justice, and it's now so. Mame Efia Sewa Saribuchi, and it's now seven so. And away, I call a judge for me and some interlocutory appeal on the submission of no case once. Echo and also echo the Court of Appeal. We can say that they can in the legal point, I can say the 3 wise men. And answer for me and son Atanaso. And nobody or more decision abba. And no more decision on the buy and also no. Or more ruling no. Was a split decision. 2-1. Yes. Meaning say Baku and Danene and the other side no so no could have and also no Ebelus or the other side need between any victory. Meaning say a clear split decision. And in this matter now, Anya unanimous at the Court of Appeal, no. It means that once you go forward, no, there's a likelihood say you may have some success in that. Evidently, Mete court me kai say ye rajapa you to more open court under cross examination say almost supply ambulance no were not meant to be used. Almost supply ambulance no specification the no according to Richie Jakpa or the leader of the Japan business no I say ambulance almost supply no was through a chain the account of family meaning say or man comply with the specifications. Mete say say some documentary evidence the Ministry of Health and also so no no almost also actually say they objected to say ministry no because na sa transaction na coso and at the point they wanted to end the minister prayed say sa transaction and break any a whole lot of things. May work court and I may say Richie Jakpa described the former deputy finance minister Yera said Tekpe then our finance minister describing him as evil and the then health minister Madam Sherry IT as evil because Omona frustrated this transaction any idea. I was in court and I say transaction, you know, ambulance, the first ambulance item came in around 2014, I think December 2014 or so. Because of the specification and meeting any man, you know, or meant me under that conversion, you know, for way over 2 years and sana the government that operated that project and I say operationalized that project, you know, a free abem a koi. allocation financial loss to the state because those ambulances have not been put to good use. Yet any ambulance impo and yet you see for the benefit of the taxpayer, you did the sika ekutia sub buses na obsolete buses no eka. And in court, Mr. Japa can plain say those buses were not meant to be used. And what is the use of an ambulance? Ambulance any use for the benefit of the people. Say it is not meant to be used there. And because he stated that because he was going by the contractual obligations, say we withdraw, it was say buying a clear from the port or clear from the porter now or my notification, no more configuration and that's installation of the other parts. No? Yes. Meanwhile, the same contract that you are relying on, it is the same contract in the car says supply A, supply B, supply C, and you supplied E, F, G, H. Meaning you did not comply with the terms of the contract. I supplied E, F, G, H because I know, sir, as part of the contract, made me a configuration. I'm gonna be A, B, C. No, you were asked to supply a particular brand of Mercedes-Benz ambulance. Sure. And no now cost here, and no near my brand. Okay. And some fittings in that ambulance. Ambulance. Mm-hmm. The government never requested for a bus to be converted into ambulances. And government interest and say whether you convert it or not, at the end of the day, when you're ambulance. Mm-hmm. But bus craft abra, and I say brand of vehicle, ambulance our pen, and you're not buy it. At the time, not that part now, a bit me configuration of that part now, or the buy and anyhow, it's that part there or want me and configure. And that has been the hula balloon. I resort to allocation this financial loss. And because the contracting party near Ministry of Health, now Ministry of Health, and they also have inspection with their allied agencies are more authorized and more capacity to do the inspection and report, or most also notify the Finance Ministry whether to proceed on paying, and answer they should not. But the Ministry of Finance, with the instruction, and answer the Ministry of Finance, Deputy Minister of Finance, authorized for payment without the party to the contract, that's the Ministry of Health, authorizing or directing the Ministry of Finance to proceed. And it has occasioned losses. Once it has occasioned losses, it is right. Say, one now one come home, one for due process, near the car bar. Causation. There has been some recklessness. There has been some negligence. And it's establishing the menstrual element, because for the actuary, the physical element is there. So you say in an ambulance, a buses, ambulance yet. So it is there for us to see. But to the intention, whether recklessness or negligence, has been established by the actions of some relevant government officials who play a role in this matter. And it cannot be said, the prosecution in the case, will improve it. I have a firm belief in the ruling of the High Court, the trial High Court, in that decision. And I position, and I believe strictly, with all sincerity and with due respect to the justices at the Court of Appeal, say the AG must move a step higher to the Supreme Court and challenge the decision of the Court of Appeal. Maybe the law lords up there may see something different from what has been rendered as. Now they also so the year. Say the same courts now a manufacturer train abasa. It is the same court and they deliver a decision now. Ebinuma or more day a court na aye chapia ano dani den no yegu court and tiania cancel for court no rejoicing now. But let caution be saved. Say one and say prosecution ebeka say wa decision of the Court of Appeal natum. Now, on proceed further they are. Then you can rejoice because it has ended. See, I ended. Now, once I was serving notice, Obekone Nimune de, I was say, the Yabiano, your dream whom you knew. Now, you who say, and nay, wo, a chana betime, I wo, and a chana betime, so I will be dear, and nunti, the Bebiano, you who say a ganamra, and nay, a mamra, and a ye juma, said ye beya, a man your sema, ye de for the bibia or ye mem has say no. Now, sabi, yedi man yourself aye an insurance against liability because of partisan political coloration. Ebe jai na magana itimi akodenim. You could see clearly from the statement, from the narrations of the learned Attorney General. I say, yes, the prosecution did their best. You could see, even from the paragraph that you quoted, and it said, the justices, with all due respect to them, anti some of the portions, because almost every trial of this matter, no, court, I took time because of the nature of interest that the people of Ghana develop in this matter, no. And now also commentators on radio and television, in order something can be an indictment on my own personal reputation, I took time to follow it up. And Obi, the Miyamacho Masum and the Miyame Meniso, as far as the non-verbal communications were concerned, as far as the verbal communications were concerned, documents tendered in evidence, I strongly support the prosecution.
So,
and one, two, boy in the development of our jurisprudence and our criminal law principles and affirm or set new principles for us as a country, for all of us to follow as lawyers and people of this country.
I'll come back to you, Mamintie Honorable Vondi, on this particular matter. And twas Honorable. Yes, and then who said when the ruling was delivered, there was this spontaneous joy on the minority side in Parliament. That's an moment. Most sorry, who video and I said more tonium any other. Was that the case?
Yeah, sure when I before it's more mine. Chama came at there, and then me back home, Madam Confidence in our man pa.
Okay.
And I just have to greet everybody. One more today we've been a very victorious day. And then any other say, or town phone she sharing no ayakwa. Na ama Bible asemo kan ye se de wosusu ye hu nyina no enkosi aga na bedani aba won so no adani aba won so. Varatu Forsen is a nice gentleman who is a brother and a party member, our leader in Parliament, and we all love him. Na asem we by I had followed the case properly. Now I realized that asem way is just political prosecution. It is nothing but political persecution. It will not go anywhere. And followed by tape, Attorney General engage Jakba. Wamun komo mudi in some Attorney General Kikan, it was just very horrible to say the least. I mean, Minister of Justice and Attorney General who is supposed to ensure that there is fidelity in our jurisprudence in this country to stood that low, to be asking an accused person to lie in a court of competent jurisdiction just to implicate another person for the person to be held liable and jailed for a crime he did not commit was really worrying. And really nearby, it was an eye-opener to all of us, and it was a joy. And I was not surprised, with the greatest of respect. I was not surprised at all, because I knew that's what's going to happen. Once, you see, one of the institutions so much as a Ghanaian is a judicial, service. Because you see, someone told that we be can prong so that near Faunko Jina court that you won't understand what it is that we're talking about. You will see it as okay, Makinka in book, men who say the tear and other, but you see, sir, two one kasa. When you knew you are telling the truth, but the whole odds are against you. But now when you say me can krasama make nukure woman Americano. Now so ya pesi ya di uko jina meremni ya di before for any ya di uko tumasa. What adian is atu oda ube hu di American. Look, you see Ghana says here Godfred Yeboah Dame, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Adia wa mana Shri Ghana aye yesika 2.4 million euro. Ana Ashri Ghana sisi amene ukase.
Adentia.
Inti onukura no, he is rather causing financial loss to the state more than the people he's accusing. Remember, sir, Sami Ekosiisen, 1 year a year manufacturers of the ambulance, as if I'm not no, would be a representative in court, Jakpa, a representative for Ghana, in court, say, together with him and Atufos, and they've caused financial loss to the state to a tune also so and so. Machine here, the bre mono. Look, machine that one port, moon clear machine mpo, a pro, no problem. When yan twa, when yan chia, mumaji musika. Na yan fire machine kwa baby. Godfred Yeboah, because of political vindictiveness, decided not to yield to the pre-bargaining agreement. And now, hold on.
Plea bargain, yes, simple. So I said,
no.
The
listen.
law sets out processes,
but the processes that the law set out was to lead to a recovery of some level of money.
Yeah, but that was not the proposal that came from.
Is that the truth?
Because one of the things they said, the accused person should accept.
No, you see.
Say, or you're guilty.
You see.
A guilty verdict will be put on the accused person.
You
and
see.
But in this case, that was not accepted.
No, that is not it.
No, read section 30 of the Court Act.
Hold on. The fact that the parties involved had even agreed to pay back whatever money it is. They decided to pre-bargain and pay back the money, whatever it is. No. What is my interest as a Ghanaian? And what is Godfred Dame's interest in any case? If he's being genuine, then his interest will be that there is a financial loss to the state, isn't it? If he is being genuine. And so if there's a financial loss to the state, and that loss, that is occasioned, there is an opportunity to recover those monies. Why would you say no? And now I say that opportunity is lost. The accused is walked free. So which one do we want?
But that opportunity
to get the money or an attempt. You see, he will say that okay, he want to serve a deterrent to those that might be thinking of doing same in the future, and therefore there should be an example. When you cause financial loss to the state, you will be prosecuted, you'll be jailed and all that. And that is why we're doing what we're doing. But the point we're making to you is that from day one, Godfred knew that this case, there was no criminality in the case. He knew.
He didn't.
If he did not know,
so.
Well, that is your...
He thinks there was...
You see, there is an admissible tape that was admitted in the court of competent jurisdiction when the matter was proceeding. A communication that went on between Jakpa and Godfred Yeboah. Godfred Yeboah's demand on Jakpa did not suggest that Godfred thought there was some level of merit in the case he was prosecuting. Otherwise, why were you forcing Jakpa to go for medical report that are wrong, to go implicate whatever and say things that are not correct now, just because you want to jail her to force it? Why would you be doing that in that communication? So from day one, Godfred knew there was no merit in the case. He knew. He knew. Otherwise, listen, as Attorney General, listen, Godfred Dame should be one of the finest gentlemen, lawyers in this country. I give him all that due respect. So if Godfred is doing a good case, Godfred knew the case he's doing, and that if it is good, he knew. If it is not good, he knew. For you to go that extent, say we'll compare evidence from an accused person just to implicate one person for you to jail, it tells you that the guy knew that there was no case whatsoever. Yeah, but he was just being vindictive.
But that tape in question, no, the judge will take key possession of the tape, no, it make key. In fact, even though you're better, the about can be about some portions of the tape.
But the point
I'm hot 10 times, no, 110 seminar. Okay,
but the point I'm making to you is that this tape it been admitted into an evidence.
Okay. I can't the value judgment. The probative value
so the point I'm making to you is that the attempt to coerce Jakpa. Say what bet me amount evidence be prosecute case no. Tells you that you didn't even have any evidence whatsoever when you were going to court. Otherwise, Godfred, a gentleman who knows the Lord so much, to qualify to be Attorney General, Minister of Justice, of which I respect him for that. Why would he be fishing, looking for go on fishing, looking for evidence from the accused person? Why would he do that?
But at the time,
why would he do that?
At the time, no, closing the case.
No,
it is all kinds of evidence from accused person.
You see,
no, they quiet. You see, who are closing the case.
You see. The fact of the matter is that
yes.
The fact of the matter is
yes.
that there was no judgment. As at the time Jakpa and Godfred Dame was engaged.
Yeah, but he had closed his case.
No, but at the time,
because you said officer for evidence. No,
at the time,
because it's our evidence. No, they
at the time, Jakpa was still in the dock. Jakpa was still being cross-examined.
Yeah, Jakpa na make the prosecution had closed the case.
Yes, but you see, prosecution had closed. It could have been open any time. It could be reopened when there are prima facie, when there are cases, when there are evidence that are pure, okay, that are established. Of course, it could be reopened and be dealt with. But the point I'm making to you, Nise, yes. The gentleman knew that Atuforcing was not wrong from day one before they went to court. It was just politics. And I know more here. Fact is that if he knew that he had case, he wouldn't have any business going to talk to the accused person to give him weapons to go and nail Atuforcing, of which that particular guy denied. Fact of the matter again is that you see, Adia Yekin, Ayagana, a bit me to Obia, Asam, Adia friend Asam, a bit me to Obia, in this obiti out there. Nasa Samuel Yekin, officer because it's NDC. Atuforcing is an NDC, and therefore young Fanyano, you don't know when you're going to get issue. You don't know your matter when your matter is going to come. Listen, Yakase, there is an allegation of over $30-something million payment to a particular company that company is company crown is not solvent. Per the attorney, friends saying, what's the name? This report from Auditor General's report. There is an allegation, say, Yetria says Ikawe, Amasa company, say, Onkoto ambulance spare parts. Listen, can you imagine if this allegation is proven? Can you imagine if 2.4 million euro, we should be working around a little over 3 million or less than $3 million, okay, is getting this kind of public sentiment and going to court, going to get accused person, to get evidence from him, to prosecute your case, every means necessary to jail the guy. If it is generating this brouhaha, can you imagine what over $30 million to go and buy spare part for ambulance? The ambulance, like I say, you're trying to say, don't you're trying to say, and Abba, Bruce, Sikano, don't want Kasani Elbono. You're trying to say, and Abba, near the don't know $30-something million. If it is proven that that money is truly paid to go and buy spare part for an ambulance. You see, let's be careful in this country. In Tinubeka say Nadia, oh, I are Atuforcing, oh, I are NDC. We're talking about me with the greatest of respect. We're talking about 2.4 million euro. I mean, you know. But yes, the principle is that when you cause financial loss to the state, that the law must deal with you. But the point we're making is that we thank God. I want to thank the appeals court judges who saw wisdom in this whole thing. Say, Atuforcing did not do anything wrong. But you know something? When the matter was proceeding, when him say, it said, Atuforcing's boss, Eba, me ebis tutu nano. Setekwa agreed that he assigned Atuforcing to do what he did, isn't it? Oh, come on. So why are we worrying Atuforcing again?
Yeah, but the counter argument is that he didn't show any evidence on the mass authorization.
But what evidence is bigger than the person himself sitting and admitting? Listen, any document you have on your table could be forged and could be used as an evidence.
Yes.
So no evidence is better than the person himself sitting down, and he has no mental disorderliness. He's not mentally disabled. He's not individual. This is a finance minister saying that I authorized my deputy to engage in this activity in an open court, a court of competent coordinate, a court where evidence is taken on oath. What again would you want to say, sir, because one for paper, a paper could be doctored, it could be signed, it could be anything, but the gentleman himself sitting down. In any case, what evidence is more powerful than what I'm telling to you today? What evidence is more powerful than that? Papa ya baka nsamu we nyina na tukura wa ya muden obi wunka ho samikasa mu ha eni wo na yakasa atu aya dan. What is it? Listen, and remember besisi krom ho. We have seen a lot of corruption allegations in this country. We have seen Australia visa scandals. We have seen Kali GVD or whatever they call it. We have seen a lot of things. So we have seen 30 million and overpaid for spare part for ambulances. So we have seen too much money in this country. Let's be careful. But you see, we thank God. We thank God. I would just want to advise Godfred Yeboah Dame, Attorney General. And the Mugwasiano had also a man dodo. My man called Supreme Court. And Mugwasiano, number one. You see, some of these things, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not supposed to be saying it. Godfred should rather put me in a class and be lecturing me. I'm sorry. A lawyer cannot engage an accused person without his lawyer. This one, you don't need to be a lawyer to know. Listen, for example, so me a lawyer, na me a lawyer. Na say I accuse you. That person who is prosecuting this matter cannot be calling you the accused without me. And Godfred should know this. Number one, that is number one. Number two, to extend that you see, hey, you see, Obiankwaya business kakran sanwa be politics. Look, me, Vondi, me, call you on phone and be talking about those things, and you think I don't know you are recording me? Really? Come on. I mean, that is too little to know. To extend that at the end of the conversation, you are asking, say, I hope you are not recording me. Really, must you ask before you know? So why was he asking? Because he knew that what he was saying borders on illegality. Again, and number 3, say, no, the court had decided to discharge and acquit the accused to go free. See, you see, if I was Dame, I will let the sleeping dog lie. But hey, yeah, but he has a right.
But because I work as we're going to any mass.
Yes. I want him to be
my point would be, sir, the Court of Appeal decision on the ruling of the High Court.
Yes.
And yet on BB Adame aye.
Yes.
A High Court decision, a Court of Appeal I
yes. Now one grand the court in Chivier and San and Sukomi in Eba.
The accused person is not a file a submission of notice. And a court need ruling on that. That has been overturned. How does that concern
that? Menria.
Yes.
Obi. Me say the beginning of this case was just a non-starter.
It shouldn't have started
at all. At all. I think that Godfred should have some powerful level of investigation.
Okay.
I bet me and they said they are me ye and Kosiaga. And that you see, if you want to deal with somebody, Anya Kranu, find some little iota of truth in the things you are carrying. But this time around, look, when your boss asks you to discharge a duty and you do, then you will be arrested. And your boss can say, hey, put it on me, man. Put it on me. I got the guy to get the job done. Put it on me, man.
And yet,
what's it there?
And yet straightforward.
Hold on.
When it borders on crime, there will be a lawyer back at you vicarious liability.
Hold on.
And applying crime when it's crime.
Put it on me. Put it on me. We'll say I won't put it on him. Okay. Yes, can some now can yes, sir. Or say I take your money, let me walk away. Or say me you sikano. I say no. Court to say about
interestingly, no. The plea bargain proposal, no. was not from the party, so
no.
It was from a third party.
No, listen.
And that's what AG said.
Jakpa, AG is not understanding. Maybe he's a little confused. Listen, Jakpa is a representative of the manufacturing company.
Sure.
Correct?
Sure.
Is Jakpa not being prosecuted too?
Jakpa is being prosecuted.
So the representative of the manufacturing company is being prosecuted.
Yeah, but the manufacturing company is not a party to the suit.
So the manufacturing company says that you are prosecuting my representative.
Yes.
And therefore, what is it? It is money. Get your money.
No. That's not what Section 30 of the
Hold on. I know about Section 30. So listen, what you will do is that possibly rope him in.
Rope who in?
The manufacturer who is proposing a bargaining to pay your money. Hold on.
Oh, Jesus. Say the one kind. Also, when you're lawyer,
I'm an answer. But the point is that you can do all the law you want.
Okay.
You can decide to talk about all the law jargon you want. What is on the table now is that we've lost the money because Godfred Dame decided not to engage in the pre-bargaining agreement. And the guys that he's prosecuting, they've also walked free. So who is causing financial loss to the state now?
Okay.
Is Godfred not the one causing financial loss to the state now? But when him, me de radia say, some me bra ato Hazel, doctor, with free
minority
leader, or a minority leader. Na oyobia Ghana dana kumaso, ejuma o yema Ghana no so. And inteno 1 year edi boni fari foreign no ankosiaga yete radiase. Godfred want to go to Supreme Court. Oh, it is his right to go to Supreme Court.
Okay.
But I will only advise him, if he will listen, he should just back off. It won't go anywhere.
Emanin kwa appeal no.
So kwa appeal. Oh, and Guasia Ketua, Ayasi and Guasia Kessie. Look, he should not go. It will help him. But we thank God. The NDC, we are happy. Ghanaians are happy. Central region, we are happy. All the NDC and all the law-loving people are happy, unless the vindictive ones. But all of us are happy, and we are happy in Parliament. We'll come back. This agenda of prosecuting the wrongdoers of our country will continue. It will not stop.
Even after elections,
oh my God, have mercy! It will continue. And then, you're passing bill back also a parliament.
I'll come and talk to you about that, maybe.
Bill back, whatever I mean, what did you know?
Any affirmative action?
There's another one, as I say, no dual citizenship.
Oh, it's been passed.
Oh God, have mercy.
Oh, it's been passed.
The will work.
Also, I know when you're about to
pass
him right and take retroactive effect.
Oh, that be said. Listen, judges' questions matter have not been determined.
I've not said so.
So if you say retroactive, I know what it means by retroactive. It has not been determined. It's a matter in progress. So there are evidences that may come and affect that matter. I know. I know.
Okay.
So the law, I know it.
It is good. It is good, say Honorable Vondi Ekasano, or you two say on your lawyer. And in Tinka, the Leonard Attorney General of an internal classroom now on China, dear.
The man can say, Monsieur, or no, Nankasa say, they say, I quite said a me
I'm coming. So I'm going to teach you. The reason I'm going to teach you, men Chama, Leonard Attorney General, Emmett, the first thing, and he said, for every criminal trial, shall say, 1, all relevant documents, all material evidence are prosecution be rely on in prosecuting the matter, no, or the man or supply man the defendant, no, said the bear almost so beshe no more they are prepare or more defense. And it is not true anyway. Say Jakpa Emma Godfred Dame and Godfred Dame EJ documents evidence if you Jakpa ho to prosecute Jakpa. It should be stated on record. Under cross-examination, Jakpa admitted said the time or no send some letters at the call AG phone. So I think they also sent 3 letters on AG's phone. No, not those documents. No, had already been supplied to Jakpa and his defense team. No, way back in 2020, a charge sheet was filed in court. And it should be noted. 2, ASA Atuforsen, Dame knew say Atuforsen was innocent, but he was prosecuting him. The evidence available and investigations are almost here show that he was liable. And unti AG the charges, preferred charges against him or the court. The High Court ruled say a case has been made against them and it will open up defense. I mean, can say Dr. Case Atuforsen are closing the defense. The first, the second, the third accused person, Richard Japa, as also know one man testimony, he has been cross-examined. The third witness and was sweeping down and was in the box. Our fourth witness was supposed to be in the box today at 12 until the decision of the Court of Appeal was delivered. And there's no way Abubakar said it is persecution because he knew he was innocent. It is never true. It is palpable falsehood. Again, on plea bargaining, Section 30 of the Courts Act 1993, Act 459, plea bargain can be entered into by parties to the suit and answer by the accused persons admitting their guilt and pleading with the agent of the prosecution said they want to negotiate on settlement. And how come a third party, an agency, Japan business in this matter, you're charging it differently. Yeah. Say you're big sin, you're charging that a Japan business has no business in this trial. Henuti say Japan business and you're charging on some matters. And Japan benefit from the 2.3, almost 2.4 million euros, no, or non as agent, a benefit 700,000 euros. The principal Ninya say he admitted that in open court. And when asked, say the agent, because you the agent, you know, when you 700,000 euros or principal no ebenya saying now with the sense supply ambulance, you know, and the agent suggested to them said that is the reason why they supplied obsolete vans. They supplied obsolete vans as ambulances. And on channel and so again, Mr. said Tepe, knowing the ramifications of the trial, say authorize a case to force, knowing say in public can I say in the public service ministry, you know, it is the sector minister and they take it responsibility of the ministries. Deputy ministers, no, they only support their ministers at the instance where they authorize them formally. Yet when asked, said offer any evidence or the authorizing to transact what he did, Embrano, he said he authorized him verbally because on Besobe conflicted himself. And we should know one thing, that he belongs to a political party. The person under trial is a member of his political party. And this same person on the case authorizing Ubino has been named in court by the third accused person as someone who is evil, who sabotaged the project when he was deputy minister because he did not want the project to go through in open court under cross-examination whilst he was in the dock. Obi ana or deputy non person project in the course no. I don't be a minister or no be authorized will be say continue with that project.
Yeah, but the counter argument has been made say Honorable Setekpe knew the weight of responsibility on him when he mounted that dock or swear oath.
Absolutely.
And on him say the crime of perjury or lie. So chantro on oath. Do you think he would risk the reputation, the fact that me go jail and come and lie?
So that is the reason why he simplified his response.
Yes.
That he authorized.
So no one authorized it.
Documented the way. Because when you authorize somebody, the person signs in your name.
Should it always be in writing?
Absolutely.
Say authorization should always be in writing.
Absolutely. Because you are bonding the state in a contract, you are authorizing for payment from the consolidated fund, and you cannot do that on your own accord. It must be under the express instruction of your minister.
Yeah, and the minister says, I gave that express instruction.
Absolutely. So, you see, say, okay, say Ghana at 50, try on air course or not. I think say Dr. Rekubrobi had relevant documents because during the handing over, and I think say he made copies of those documents in the CA. And when matters became hot, you know, or I did certain evidences in court or tender some documentary evidence vindicated in the procedure. This is a government and we continue to say governance is a continuous process. And in the free ministry, you give what we call a handing over note.
Yes.
And all these material documents, you know, whether you gave due authorization is documentary enough, there are copies at the ministry. You get it. And knowing very well said there exists nothing of that sort, you know. He chose a neutral response that he authorized him. What evidence you have to show? I have no evidence to show. So it is your word against my word. Opa GD, Opa men GD, and nothing can be done about it. So in addresses, the case proceeded to the last stage, the lawyers would have commented on this subject matter and would adduce relevant legal principles and legal authorities to support that position and make their case in court before the judge to persuade the judge to rule in a particular direction. All the evidence court, it is the weight and the probative value of the evidence, and then establishes something that you want to establish. It is not just mere dropping the phone in court. Some of the evidence are court. What is the weight of the phone I will drop in court? Relevant to the matters in dispute. And what is the probative value of that evidence? This is what matters before the court. And again, he kept on mentioning, say, or friend, no, say, onye uncle Kansembi, na ye indicted the first accused person, ye convicted because onye she. Oh, honorable member, you see, that tape was admitted in evidence. The judge, the trial judge, can say we tear tape, no, that segment we tear 10 times. There's nowhere in that tape I would say the Leland Attorney General, the third accused person, to say what the narrative is outside. What can be said? And on that instance, say on the adjournment, the AG said he was going for an arbitration outside the country and he wanted to be present in court. On that tape, once it's in evidence, we can speak to it. And he's going away, so if he can, like, give an excuse or something. Not say ni chance or bano to case in this one. It is there. It is record. We can't lie about this thing.
Yeah, but the excuse, created excuse.
Absolutely. You can go on for misconduct or whatsoever, but that does not affect the matters in dispute. That's a separate matter. A separate arbiter. And the case answer semono. It is not before that court. And the case answer semono. Do you get it? Okay. And so for man be real. And I have self-noticed. Sanka prosecution say the decision that has been rendered by the Court of Appeal final where James on to asu biwa. No, and
okay.
Enka yet enka honorable Vondi ebe can the kasa working and nisem working. But once it is not final, now there is another leg or another layer of the judicial system. The AG has self-noticed say obe explore no. Yenhwe ye kasa bi ne ye niema bi.
Okay.
Na ekodu ho no mo na anya se de na wo pe na
wa meka
asem foforo. Enka de minim ni se ye nyina ye Ghana fo. Sabi.
Oh meba.
Sabi obi ye nyina ye Ghana fo. Se de ka se odo kesilato forcing no. Ampa odo unua na kasa bi se no edu se ya eye abotoy kan say eye anoboase ani anobrɛbrɛ sɛ de bɛya edipa no the determination and resolve no ye betimi aka me no na nyina ka nsɛm bi wɔ hɔ no mo a ɛbɛma ya so yɛntwa nipa no ɛde but nsɛm bi sɛ ɛkɔ a na ɔwɔ another leg of betimi explore na going through the decision no ɔno sɛ there are loopholes as far as the weight of evidence adduced are concerned and to explore the probability of his succeeding near high na so succeed now see back to court in the likelihood event see about back to court to continue with the trial no na and favor or wadamfo na why na mo anase wa anye na mo in any case there has been certain allusions say case lato forcing e de aduanum bi kob acheopa ene nema there has been certain admissions enye agitu mo hanom say the third accused person no ne principal make some attempt at plea bargaining na onye party to the suit any ade nyina it comes to tell you say boni bi di honom a onya boni bia na wo se makoto ade about metuaka any ade e na hu ncha so betuaka na ade e said the honorable e careful
ma mentie honorable answer na no we say happy blessed birthday to COP Ekosiisen Cancer retired or a former commissioner of police. We wish you a wonderful year of good health. May your birthday be filled with many joyful hours and the coming year be blessed with happiness for you. Have a fantastic birthday. It's from the Japan family and your wife Ohima Kukua, Queen Mother of Achim Adadientem. COP Ekosiisen Cancer retired. I'm told you're an ardent listener of Ekosiisen and a fan of this show. Thank you and have a blessed birthday. Yes, Honorable.
Council is aware that the fact that monies are paid in itself does not constitute illegality. Sure. But that is point number one. And it's all say, so when you say one year, Bonnie be had an person just can back. Fact that monies are paid in itself does not constitute any illegality. So that's point number one. Point number two, you see, assuming without admitting, posse, Godfred Yeboah and ni Jakpa and Komo Mudi, and yeah, no na Godfred, AG evidence and son what the prosecutor as the mere fact say the prosecutor engaged the accused without the accused lawyer in itself is absolutely wrong. And who should know better? It's Godfred Yeboah Dame, my good friend. Who should know better? Point number 3. Say everything you want to say. Take the case wherever you want to take it to. Now we have lost the $2.4 million. And we've lost that deterrent image you want to create. Which would have been better?
Have we lost the $2.4 million?
The people wanted to. Why are we in court? We're in court because Godfred believed that Atu's behavior caused the financial loss to the state, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. What is the remedy? Godfred's remedy, option of remedy, ni say, Yamfa Atun kotum na afufrofo anyebium, enya saa na ochere. And that is why he's in court, isn't it? And then there was an opportunity to recover that money. Okay, he decided not to go for that opportunity. Minewoka say the court of
that proposal was not made by the parties involved, by the accused person.
But a point I'm making to you, Nise, the representative of the people who made the proposal were part of the case. Jakpa is the representative of the guy out there, the big fish. Is it the big fish they call it?
Big C.
Big C. Jakpa is the representative of the Big C in Ghana. Jakpa is part of the accused persons. And so that was the reason the Big C could make that gesture. Say, Asamano, Yankane, number 2. Look, so whatever it is, whether it was made properly or not, there was an attempt and there was an opportunity we could go for the money. Number 3. Now, no, we've lost these 2 legs. Wouldn't it be better if he had gone for the money? Now we've lost the 2 legs. Now you want to go to appeal at the Supreme Court. The American say, look, I trust in the spirit of justice in this country. And I trust in the sense of reasoning that these judges will take into determining cases in this country. We are talking about taking somebody's husband, somebody's father, somebody's constituent leader, a member of parliament, to jail for $2.4 million. You think the judges will not reason through properly and see whether the law permits that? They will. And I tell you, from the beginning of the case, Godfred knew that Atu would walk if justice is delivered. And I'm happy that we still live in a country where I can beat my chest and say that Ekoko Yedru court bekebia ma yeni obia. We see ami wahi. Nini obia. Edru court. See, ya bebom ya kanedo. Bia o befa biara. Kwa asutne no. Oh yeah, franga. Se okono yedi denara. Obeye nyinara. Oh yeah, bom ya kanedo. Listen, this case is dead and this case is gone.
It is the Supreme Court a ruling otherwise, would you still be saying?
I believe in the judgment of the Supreme Court. They will not be whimsical or capricious in delivering judgment. They will uphold the decision of the appeals court, and that is it. Listen. Let me not even say it that way. If the trial judge at the High Court had finished hearing the evidence before this judgment from the appeals court, the trial judge at the High Court would have asked Atu to walk.
Oh, sure. That's no idea.
Listen, she would have walked without any jailing or whatever. Atu would have walked free. Because you know why? I have listened to the cases. I know the evidence. I know what it is. And have followed through. Okay? Atu would have walked. And there was nothing anybody could do about it. Godfred couldn't do anything about it. Again, let me advise Godfred. Dia wani ye namono. Ya wajina ye tise o berema o ye o don berema no. Ni huye hu. Eurade hu konkro ni huye hu. Wadi ya samaye. Godfred kakra atuwi fatne fie. Enkogu anywasi was appeal court to be who. Ye man.
Said the accused persons they call appeal no. So I'm also right so be quiet.
Again, I have never taken his right away from him. Hold on. The fact that I've not taken his right away from him does not stop me from advising him. He's my brother.
Very well.
So he's advised, not forced. And yes, sir. The abeto no.
Ebe kese.
Erade hu ne mobo.
Mate. Obi, ebe bomi akano do. Aha.
Obi.
1 second.
1 second. Yeah, careful.
1 second.
Yes, lawyer. BGDA said there are layers of our court structure.
Sure.
And Obia war the right to appeal.
Yeah.
The AG are serving notice say Obe explore the right of appeal at the Supreme Court. Say notice of appeal will be filed.
Okay.
Now me can authoritatively say AG appeal this decision me ebe me yapa.
Wa appeal
me wa appeal ebe me yapa as a person.
I think he will receive.
Say Ojina say wa anya appeal na
ebe me yapa. Ebe me yapa. Ebe me yapa.
I'm
urging him on in the interest of our nation.
Okay.
And for the betterment of our jurisprudence. The betterment of our jurisprudence.
In the Supreme Court.
Uncle.
Mate.
Movie of one side,
lawyer for
Sputnik, okay, Brantia, or cotton Sputnik. Yeah, each Sputnik be $9 million and $9 a day or so. No. Oh, Mukai, the Amwako traders come more Munina, Juma so your hair, Yakoti $200 million. I was part of what's enhancing then. See, I'm finding a crime beautification and the Menuya, you quite a project, and Yabu. Will be great trace come on the side cry and Chirano. More you, now move you off one son. Namu with you. The Ababanusu.
Obi, we should not condone illegality.
Yes.
Obi, say ya Maya. Enya musho. So Obi ya bonia. Yanchini ko jinam renim. Obi, ya nyane sa. Our country will not see its good health.
I agree with you on that.
So Obi ya bonia. That is why Parliament exercise oversight over the executive and other arms of government. Enuti munyimpie na sisiye no starting wajuma. Na emboye my Ghana.
Mate. Lawyer for quiet that say, Honorable Vondi that say, Yame Adumoch na ebesen atwa so Ekosiisen has been fantastic. Take a listen to this.